Hey there, you're with Salty, and we're on the deck with a Fender Player Series Telecaster received from Musicorp about 30 minutes ago. There's two parts to this video. The first part, we're going to talk about the condition of this second-hand instrument, pre-loved, whatever you want to call it. The second part, we're going to talk about what this instrument does, how it sounds. So if you're completely happy with what a Telecaster does, you can watch the first part and then just go and hire an instrument. If you're curious about what this instrument can do for you, then stick around and we'll have a bit of a listen. As you can see, there's no obvious signs of wear and tear. This is a 2018 model, so you can expect that it's been in circulation about 18 months, maybe 2 years tops. Player Series have the 3-ply scratch plate. Previous models didn't have that. It's string through body, which is apparently a little bit better for sustain, and you can see on the back of the instrument the 6 ferrules there that seat the strings, and there's no obvious belt or buckle rash on the back of the guitar, which is normally a clear indication that the instrument's been well used and used often. You're got your jeans on, got your belt on, you're rocking out, and you make a mess of the back of the guitar. The front of the instrument, you can see there's a Telecaster sort of period correct saddle plate and saddles. They're Fender stamp belt steel, as I said before, with single coils, both neck and bridge. All looks pretty good to me. The selector, 3-way brass, feels solid, feels good. Master volume, master tone, no rust, no mess. Telecaster style milled metal knobs, and they are metal. There's no plastic on this guitar, apart from the scratch plate, of course. Headstock, it's in great nick as well. String tree is in place, no rust or mess. Strings around sort of factory standard 4 winds per string, which is a great thing. They aren't locking tuners, they're just standard Fender style tuners, but again, no issues. The input jack, no mess around the input jack, no accidental stabs into the wood or anything. Look, the Telecaster bowl input jack, if you want to call it, is kind of a spring clip jack. They're prone to failure over time, and I'm talking a significant amount of time. This instrument's been around a while, but it's easily replaced and easily fixed. StewMac and the like have replacement kits for these that are about $10. But this one's in good nick and it does the job. Neck is finished in gloss, which, some would argue a little bit brighter. There's no visible fretwear. Strings are in great nick. The neck is finished in satin. Satin, the idea there being that if you're an on-stage musician sweating under those lighting cans, as you often do, your hand doesn't get bound up in the gloss finish on the neck like it would with, say, a Mustang or something like that. But no, great finish. Fender stamp neck plate. Everybody wants Fender stamp neck plate on their Fender. My Jazzmaster doesn't have the big F on the neck plate. I'm dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it well, but I'm dealing with it. But that's a nice touch. This is the only visible signs of player usage that I could find on the guitar, and I had to take this photo at a lot of different angles just to get that plectrum scratching to show up. So that's probably a really good thing. But no, it's great. Tuners, Fender stamped, or all your nylon washers are in place. It's often a problem with older instruments. Not so much with this one. In great nick. You can see it's made in Mexico, and the year of manufacture is 2018. The rest of the numbers are only visible inside Fender as to exactly what they mean. But we can see Mexican 2018. So in the second part of the video, we'll go and plug this thing in and see what it can do. Super versatile instrument, and as it shipped, as it looked like a new instrument. It honestly did. But there you go. Hey, you with Salty? We're on the rug with the Fender Player Series Telecaster. I must mention this is filmed on Anzac Day, so respect I have a beer, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, that's perfectly acceptable. We're in a living room environment, as you can see, so there's no trickery here. What you hear is what I hear. We're not DI'd into the computer or into Pro Tools or anything like that. Pedal board in front of me is my pedal board. I'll throw a still up. We've got a mirror image delay, a bubbler chorus, a flanger and a tremolo, all in the effects loop, Boss tuner and a Keeley Oxblood overdrive, distortion. That's the only pedal that's in front of the amp, and of course the Fender 4-channel 4 options selector. It's a Fender Machete, a little bit hard to find. I have one, I won't sell it, don't ask. So let's get into it. There's a plectrum here somewhere, there it is. Dry sound. Tuner off. Pretty nice, a little bit of break up on the clean channel. This amp has 2 channels. What does dry sound mean? So if you're new to the game, dry sound means that technically there's nothing between this instrument and that amplifier. There's a whole debate around whether your pedals are true bypass or buffered. Ignore it, it means nothing. Absolute rubbish. So this is kind of the top of the line stuff out of the Fender Mexican plant, and again there's a whole lot of debate around Chinese, Mexican, American, yada yada yada. The Mexican stuff is where your best bang for buck is with Fender instruments, so there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I've got a Mexican-made Jazzmaster right beside me, made same year, same plant. Let's have a look. What can it hurt? We're in, we're on. So, all the debate about where it came from, when it was made, if you're just getting into stuff, it's really, really not relevant for you. So, this instrument, again, our dry sound, what are you going to add first, or are you going to add reverb? That's the rhythm pickup, which is the neck pickup here. It's often called a lipstick pickup because of how it's formed. Let's go to the lead, there's a bit of bite there. Breakup down pretty low on that clean channel. Let's bring the effects loop in, and these things, something's not commonly known about a Telecaster is the fact that there's a lot of artists who went on to become poster boys, if you will, if that's the right term. I don't know if that's politically correct in this day and age, but they went on to become associated with other signature instruments, other iconic instruments, the Telecaster and probably the Gibson Les Paul in particular. But those artists actually used this in the studio to create some fairly iconic albums. So that's a cool thing. So it is really versatile and it lends itself well to effects. typically associated with a very spank sound, I suppose. Spanky? Is spanky? I don't know, is spanky a word? That's often achieved by scooping out the mids, and if you get into your Telecaster Deluxes, which split these two pickups in the control section, you get a tone and a volume for each pickup. This instrument actually has a really balanced approach, almost Stratocaster-like from a single coil point of view. But let's throw some effects in. We'll bring the effects loop online. And there's nothing there at the moment. We're not sure why. Okay, my flanger is giving me some grief. So let's do a bit of flanger. Pretty darn good. Very full sounding, very rich sounding, great bottom end, nice clear top end. We go to a bit of again, and so we're on that neck pickup at the moment. We go to the lead and we get a little bit more bite. We'll probably get a little bit more breakup out of the amp, which is what you kind of expect. Really well-rounded tone. It retains some bass when you go to that lead pickup, and it retains some treble when you go to the neck pickup. That middle section, right, let's give it some dirt. Very good. Bit of chorus. out a bit of that surf rock sound. Pickup is pretty darn good. Let's try something that's not my comfort zone. We'll head over to the other channel on this amp, and it's pretty dirty. If you're looking to get into the game with a quality instrument, a Mexican Telecaster is probably not a bad place to start. Thanks for listening. Salting signing off.